120-year-old club with a long history and traditions, and very proud of our history and traditions.
We have been in existence for fully 1/2 of the entire history of the United States.
When I was a teenager, I had a summer job part-time at the tennis courts, which were not a part of the yacht club at the time. And my boss was an older guy, about 4 years older. I noticed Dawson had a group of kids who he was teaching tennis to, all of whom families belonged also to the yacht club, and yet I'd never seen them at the yacht club. So I decided my following summer's job would be to organize a sailing class and teach sailing in my own boat at the yacht club. I had a group of about 14 or 15 kids, and I taught them in my boat, taking 2 at a time and scheduling the week. I really enjoyed that and did finally get my kids so that they knew how to sail.
In 1928, the Connanicut Yacht Club was looking for a new class of racing sailboats. 10 members settled for a 16-foot Marconi rig, round-bottom keelboat called a pilot. The pilot class was reduced from 10 to about 6 as a result of the 1938 New England hurricane. We small boat sailors used to take great pride in getting as close as possible to the battleships and aircraft carriers as they glided in and out of the bay. This did not make the naval officers on the ships particularly happy. One incident that comes to mind was the time I took a young lady out sailing. I'm not sure if we were racing or just out for a pleasant sail. Anyway, one of the Navy PT boats was coming at top speed in our direction. Not to be intimidated, I held the tack we were on while actually looking forward to the wake we were about to encounter. My crew was oblivious to the danger until the waves crashed over our boat. In an instant, we were swamped. We were soon rescued, and neither of us were any the worse for wear, but the part that sticks with me about the incident was the reaction of the girl's father. He was a parsimonious Philadelphia banker. I thought he was going to wring me out for putting his daughter in such danger. Not at all. He was furious, to be sure. Not at me, but at her, because she came home with only one shoe.
CYC is on Narragansett Bay, which is one of the best sailing venues in the United States.
It's really beautiful. Anywhere where you can go sailing, the 12 meters are out every day is pretty unique and amazing.
late 1990s, when I was fleet captain, we was looking at the two really popular areas of our club, being the sailing and the tennis programs, and was thinking of some kind of a way to combine them into a fun event. So we conceived this idea of blue water tennis, had a funny name to it.
I organize the blue water tennis event each year, which I enjoy doing. I've managed to make a bit of a science out of it.
And the idea was to do round robin tennis playing and then followed by a sailboat race and mix it all up and get the tennis players on the boats and the sailboaters out there playing tennis.
And it's actually caused sailors who never play tennis to start thinking about taking lessons and participating in the sport.
Typically has people who are not normally sailboat racers jumping on sailboats to help win their portion, the sailing portion of that combined event. So that's one great way to get involved. If you're a tennis player and you want to get some sailing experience, the Blue Water Tennis event is great.
Everyone who's ever participated in the event asks me to participate again, and that now we have actually a boat that Betty's been on the crew every year but one, and it's been fantastic. I remember I was a new member and this flag officer comes up to me and says, "Could I sail with you in blue water tennis?" And I was so honored, and we've had so much fun over the years.
Members just scramble to get on these boats. It's one of my, if I had to pick two fun days at the club, it's commissioning and blue water tennis.
I think the numbers are really a reflection of the fact that it's just a fun day.
I think going upwind the next, till we get to Beavertail, you guys will get very well used. The Around the Island race really invites boats of virtually any size to come participate. I believe it's anything over 22 feet can participate in the race. And the race starts right out front and goes either clockwise or counterclockwise around the island. Last year, I think we had 60-something boats, and it was broke down into, I believe, 7 fleets.
I have done the Around the Island race only once, because I'm usually out of town on Labor Day for work. There's some other regattas, but I have a memorable one because I went around and it was on a J22, blowing like stink, and just up on the other side of the West Passage, just tacking up wind, wet and cold. But it was just, I think doing it on a small boat, that's what I love about it. It's Around the Island is a pretty typical thing for Narragansett Bay. There's several events that go around, but the Connanicut Island race on Labor Day weekend, that's the one.
We have members who are professional sailors who are participating in America's Cup campaigns. We have members who are at the top of the amateur sailing circuit globally, and there's a lot of racing that goes on around here. So whether you're a family coming into CYC and you want to race some CYC stuff and get involved in CYC programs, or whether you want to just get involved in any other racing that many CYC members also participate in across the bay, there's something for everybody to choose from.
The tables are empty.
I really enjoy, number one, I'd have to put TGIF.
I would go back all the way to when Bill Bergen was the Commodore, and Bill sort of introduced the philosophy of making the club a year-round operation. Let's bring it into a full-range, year-round kind of operation. And that was a key philosophical point, and we began having TGIF.
One of the events that I look forward to is Friday. We have what we call TGIF.
My wife and I work in Boston during the week, and coming across the bridge and seeing the water is very relaxing. And then when we get to our home, and then shortly thereafter get ourselves down to the club for TGIF on Fridays and collect our friends and enjoy the evening. It's the beginning of a very relaxing weekend.
Our chef does some fantastic meals, and so it's a chance to come, talk about the week, stand in front of the fireplace in the Mabel Wheeler room, chat with everybody, then come in and have a very nice meal.
Club is a very busy club, and there's always something for everyone to do. We have a full calendar year of programs. Starting at Christmas, we have a marvelous Christmas party. Santa always comes, and after he comes and gives gifts to all the kids, we have caroling around the piano, and it is a very, very popular event.
And I have to say this year, when you saw 37 children, and most of them were grandchildren, some of them were children of club members, and they were all in their party dresses, and they had letters for Santa, and other club members said that this is the Santa for their children or their grandchildren. That's kind of a neat tradition.
We've also done Kentucky Derby parties, which have been popular. This year we will do summer solstice.
The club offers to families a variety of activities that really make their dues worthwhile.
The highlight of our year is the Commodore's Ball.
Commodore's Ball has been here ever since I've been here, so I'm sure it started with a tradition right with the start of the club. It's a great event. It's held at the end of the summer being late August. So it's kind of an event that signifies everybody is here, our summer people are here, all of our active members are here.
That has just been a special event of the summer, and for the people that come in that are summer only, it's a chance, it's their formal event for the summer.
And it's one of the opportunities when we know everybody is around and can get together for a formal event put on by the Commodore, because we're celebrating the club and the Commodore is thanking everybody for another good season and looking forward to many in the future.
We had a dilemma because certainly the big yachts are deserving of a big bottle, but we also have some small ones out there. So what we decided to do for the smaller yachts, we have this.
Commissioning is a tradition that most yacht clubs have. CYC being the same, it's no different than a commissioning of a ship. Basically, you announce that the ship of the club is ready for another season.
It's a very important part of yacht clubs, and I think it's one of the things that we're trying to impress upon newer members that might not quite understand the traditions. It is a signal in a lot of ways, sort of a renewal or a reawakening in the club, and that all the activities and everything are starting all over again, even though they've been continuing.
We're a full-service club year-round. We have many options for our club members, whether they be waterfront options or the tennis or racket sport facilities or the social activities, which are very strong.
Well, I think, you join a club because you enjoy the activities that they have. So it's a natural place to be, and it's a fun place to be because you're on the waterfront. You might come down for lunch and someone's going out sailing and you jump on board. So it's a fun place to run into friends.
Our club is very active. We have something like 23 committees, each one of which probably has you know, 5 or 10 or more people on it. So we have a significant number of our members involved in committee affairs on the club. And in order to have a thriving club, you need that kind of participation from the volunteers.
The Connanicut Yacht Club fills a very important need in the community, both socially and in terms of the maritime heritage of Jamestown.
Everyone who lives in Jamestown knows that we live in a very special place. Doing this and being part of the club just sort of rounds out the experiences of living in this community.